Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik and this is the game Won the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is my play by email game against Xargun. He's the Allied commander and for me it is the Empire of Japan, scenario 1, game version 26B, all standard, all stock, no mods or so on. I take the next base at the east coast of Australia. There was no one to defend this base, that is all easy. And we are already in April, so my amphibious bonus is over. I choose not to go for India. Too late, I would say. And you must really focus on India or Australia. Both is with scenario 1 unlikely. There's still this small short-range submarine at Rockhampton. Damaged last turn, but only slightly. So it's still there. And I pick here the last half dozen Dutch bases, dot bases in the Dutch East Indies. No Navy clash. Yesterday was a mini battle, but I would really say it was a test to see how strong is the Tahiti defense. My air force out of Garrelton still can report enemy ships south of Perth and around Perth. Also here at Cohin. And maybe I can get some strike on them because I moved my carriers out of defense operation of Jaffna to a semi-active rule or semi-active action stations. Number one goal is still unloading my equipment. I also sweep Colombo to see how many airplanes are left. We had here one air battle at Ceylon so far. But now no one is there at home. And I also prepare here some special operation east of Perth. But first a high concentrate, but low number. I mean you can see a lot of airplanes, but not really a high number of airplanes. Still I can disable some Chinese units on the ground. Nice. And some revenge strikes for this Chinese success against other Chinese. I let them feel the pain more or less. At least I try. And airstrikes against not so successful. And zipping. Still there. And I sweep Perth. And I find something. I was not sure if there, because before I saw not really a lot of aircraft on the ground. But maybe Xargun was shifting here. Because he still have rail here, can rail here all aircraft in Australia around. These are P-39s and Kitty Hawks are P-40s, but produced in Canada. So Canada produced a lot of airframes for the British Empire and Commonwealth. So, but I don't know really if the Kitty Hawk 1A is now a P-40E. I think it's a P-40E. Anyway, I have here my 1C Oscars. I don't have anything better in the next month, so must be successful or... The problem is I fight here over enemy base, so my losses are always the dead pilots. And we will see how many operation losses I have. I'm not too keen in this kind of sweep actions over enemy bases. I must take the base. I don't really must have many aces and killed pilots or killed enemy airplanes. That is always nice on the paper, but it will not change the strategic position. And the pilots are always a shortcoming of Japan, not from the island, for the Allies. So there are some torpedo bombers but Xargun using for land attack. So he won't slow down my approach on Colombo. Okay, let him try this. And the B-17s are here, attacking my ground forces. Yesterday I had this failed attack, so now 2/3 of my Navy Guard unit is disabled. And here's my strike for the enemy, and there are some cap fighters. Luckily I have here a lot of escorts, but my strike package is a little weak. So only 21 torpedo bombers, and this is not too much. So first let's see how is my cap is holding strong against this, so no of my bombers get attacked. And here enemy light cruisers. This is really something with value I can attack. But these are British ships, so they have strong flag, even in early 42. And I have torpedoes, but let's see if there's any hit. There are at least hits on my airplanes, that's for sure. So, the escort was good, but the torpedo run was bad. That was semi-successful. I can only hope there's a second attack in the afternoon, with more success. But at least some action. And I can scout some ships source west of Perth. Okay, no one here. These are still just retreating Australian forces out of Darwin. And I only try to slow them down. Airstrikes against Bendwing Airport. Ugh. So. And one flank. And Hudson's long range attacking my forces, but scoring no hit. And this is a long range, but they have still this. I don't know where they come from that you have long range. I don't know which base this is. Or they operate out of a base that's not ready to support this kind of aircraft. I think you need an airfield of 4 to have full load for twin engine bombers. If you load bombs. For some reason you can run airfield level 3 with torpedoes, but not with bombs. So afternoon strike is not much stronger, but the enemy capacity is weaker. And again, all my torpedo bombers come through, and plus all the zeros. No hit on my aircraft, so maybe some torpedo hit now. Oh, there's an AP. AP with troops. And APs are less able to avoid torpedo attacks. So this is the easy target. And the British flag is really strong. Okay, at least one torpedo hit with explosion and penetration, and the second hit with penetration and explosion. So this light cruiser is crippled at least, or will sink. One more hit on an AP, that is always good. But overall still only just so, barely minimum. I mean, I could strike much stronger. But I would say all three ships are heavily damaged. But without heavy fires, all three will survive, especially because we are in a port hex. But they are out of action, they need a repair shipyard. So where's the next repair shipyard? Colombo. But Colombo is too risky, so they must go up to Bombay. And that is a little far away for a crippled ship. No one here. Oh, that was all. And there are some ships sinking. So now I cannot judge if it's the AP, what is likely, or the light cruiser. Or something else, I don't know. Some dot bases. And the next attempt to take the fortress, but again my attack value is half and the enemy get 7 times. And today I lose a tank. I still can destroy some of the equipment, but no victory. And the first battle for Wellington. So I can see what is here, a lot of tank units, but they're all weak more or less. There's one stronger infantry unit. And I can take down the fort. That is the minimum goal. I get nearly a 2-to-1, but at least I have a 1-to-1, so I destroy the fort level. I have casualties, but you can see I lost nearly nothing, only disabled, and the New Zealand guys are losing 1 unit plus a lot of equipment. So strategically the situation is not changing, but tactically I win the battle in numbers. So, and again, I don't know how much is left in this unit, but they are running. And the attack on Bendoing, after a long time in preparation and enough supplies, is finally ready. Strike. Maybe the Dutch are breaking today. I take down the fort. Now it's only fort level 1. That is more or less the lowest level of fort really matters, because a level 1 fort you will build overnight. So, and the engineers already blow up the level 4 too, so you fight on a level 1 fort. This is, I cannot really have less, or the enemy will always have this level fort 1. Maybe if I attack immediately I would have a level 0, but no. This attack is just so. Here you can see now 21 units getting destroyed. That is a little higher than other days, but the Dutch are still suffering more. On units, total casualties is another question. But I can replenish everything. The Dutch, I think, have a dead end. Sebang, also holding. But casualties on the island side. Here's one more strain. No, the New Zealand guys still holding. Okay, they're all holding today. One more holding. This is empty base. This attack is also just so. But for me only disables the enemy is destroyed. And this is my paratroopers, they dropping here to cut the rail, so that I don't want that any aircraft can rail in, or units rail in. So long I control this hex, no one will go in or out of Perth by rail. So a lot of action compared to the days before, really a high increase. And I guess that now in April Xargun must really fight. He cannot retreat any, he cannot give up Perth, he cannot give up Brisbane or Townsville, and yeah, he has to fight now. There is no step back. So air losses are high on both sides. And you can see that for me, I lose 6 Oscars, air battle over Perth, but a higher numbers of air losses is related to my airstrike at India, and 6 Kates getting killed by flak. So I losing here 6 torpedo bombers, all against enemy flak, plus 1 Lily over Bendoing, plus a scout getting by flak, so a lot of flak kills lost again. But my zeros are, I lost 3 airplanes air to air against the British Hurricanes and 6 Oscars. And for the Allies you can see, so I kill nearly double the Hurricanes, but now it's hard. Yeah, the Hurricanes was over in India, so the zeros killed 2 to 1, that is okay. And this is a 2B, that is improved Hurricane already. And my Oscars also killed 2 to 1 over Perth, but again, this is airframe calculation. The pilots, I think I lost much more, because all my lost airframes are lost pilots, more or less. And for the Allies, I think at least maybe 50% or even more can survive the battle. Often only 25% of your pilots getting killed if you fight over your own base. So I don't know if it's a victory. It was not a defeat, but it's also not really taste like a victory. Especially because my airstrikes could be much stronger, but for some reason I really sent only the minimum amount of torpedo bombers. I get only reported kill of a light cruiser, and this is a C-class cruiser, so they have the similar value like a Japanese light cruiser. They're really not heavy, and they have the single mounts. This is First World War technology, more or less, or at least design. Yeah. So again, air losses 21 to 28. But if this is with Bendoing together, so if I cut Bendoing, it's like 1-to-1 kill ratio. I sunk 1 or 2 ships and I crippled a light cruiser at least. So there is, I lost equipment because I gained something for this. So in China, no battle today. Everything is moving. I arrive in this hex. I let the Chinese more or less move out. If Xargun try to attack me, I don't know, 2 divisions. If he attack with all his equipment, maybe he could kick me out, but it's a risky operation. And you can see this hex is now empty, so this will maybe auto flip next turn. Burma is a Cold War. And Ceylon was also, I tried to take the base again, but no. The tanks alone looks like cannot take on the fortress. I lost here 1 of my tanks. Yeah, 1 light tank getting destroyed. Wow. At least this kind of battles will increase my experience. So even if I don't immediately achieve here a victory, in the long run my tank's getting stronger. Here is my carrier fleet. and here's the enemy. There was cap, not more much left. And there are a lot of ships, you can see 3 light cruisers and a lot of other equipment. And it was a missed opportunity, but I cannot really say too much. Because I think torpedo bombers, they was on strike mission. They all had the order to go for a navy strike. But for some reason you can see this guy went out. And this is a smaller air wing, and it lost 4 airframes last turn, with all 4 pilots killed. This air wing also went out. It was originally 27, now 2 lost, by flag, of course, not interceptors. Also the pilot dead. And the rest... no, this is before. All of them... they don't fly. Sometimes you have the situations, and I don't know why they don't fly, because there's a lot of ships, and like cruisers is always a juicy target, I would say, and even APs. So why the other torpedo bombers don't want to fly, I don't know. Can happen, but it's a game. And pilots and airframes can build always new, so I would not be worried. In this situation, I would say, okay, it's a dice roll check or whatever. At least I don't lose any carriers or ships and break the game. So much so far for this, and I can still see here, because I had this recon information that there's a lot of fighters, but they don't fly in cap. So, maybe this information is wrong, or I don't know what happened with all the fighters on the ground. Sebang is still holding, but losing equipment. Bendoing was attack, but I have the supplies, but I will rest now again. I can take my time. Up to now I see no emergency situation. I have now some detection, but okay. Here's a lot of tanks and a lot of guns and a lot of manpower. So here is something stronger. So maybe I must react to this action. My army is on the way. This has 2 divisions plus a little support unit. I will see how strong is the forces here really. I mean, the tanks are high, but allies have a lot of tanks, and I think it's misleading. I think vehicles, I'm not so sure it's AVF, is also, normally it's armor vehicle, fighting vehicle. So I'm not sure if the game really says these are really fighting vehicles or these are all kind of vehicles. So I don't, motorized support or supplies sometimes also kind of vehicles. But we will see. At least I walk to Perth, I make one attack, see how strong the enemy is, and then I must react if I can try to make the bloody fast way in Bendoing and burn 1 or 2 of my divisions and try to take out the Dutch as soon as possible, or I simply let only 1 division here and take out the other 3 and let them starve to death over 1 or 2 months. We will see. But I can also first try to attack and see. Maybe this is more like a paper number and wrong information. Yeah. I also see here a lot of ships import, but again, this detection level is too low to really say these numbers are true. Here's this AM fleet, and here is the enemy task force. Say light cruisers. Not sure what it is. But here is my own cruiser formation. We unluckily miss each other last turn. But I am not detected. So I will try to hunt down these groups. If it's light cruisers, I have heavy cruisers, I don't fear this. I only hope it's not a battleship. We will see. So there is some action. My sweep over Perth was, semi-successful. I had originally 36 airplanes going out. Now I have only 27 on the ground. 3 pilots are lost, killed, and 2 are missing. And likely lost forever. So I lost 5 pilots. And I must call in here my airplanes to fill up the lost. And but I also achieved, the problem is we never know how many kills you achieve here today. I mean, indirectly you can check it. But I have here some pilots getting experience. But if I won't fight against, yeah, I don't know how many fighters are here. Up to now, not too many. But I will maybe call in something else. Because this unit must soon leave. It's always 3rd of April and 7th of April this guy must leave later. So I think this is not enough. And because there's also strong enemy ground forces, so I will reinforce my air force at least here. And yeah, this was a battle, a victory. The Australians are still retreating, and then this Tenet Crete this year. This is normally the end of my drive source. I hope I can catch them and maybe defeat them here finally. One more attempt. Rockhampton, there was a B-17 strike. This will be a problem in the future. Now my unit is half disabled. And I just walk out. I can walk here full speed on the highway, but I still need some days to arrive there. New Zealand was also a battle in Wellington, but I was not able to take the city. Not like Auckland. But Auckland is clear terrain and this is wood, so this is defense bonus. And all the rest is still struggling. But a question of time. And here far east there's nothing. My subs find nothing. Nothing. So we will see if it's possible for me to engage this unit, but I guess that Xargun will move now more Goa maybe. That is maybe a more safe port. And this is out of range for all of my... From this side it's hard, and then I will be very close to Madras. I cannot come too close to this port. Maybe there are some torpedo boats, and this is always risky. There's also, I think, enemy submarines here soon around. So I must move my carriers. I cannot stay in the same hex for too long time. So we will see. But with my threat on my army is marching out of Colombo, I would also guess that sooner or later Xargun must move out his air force out of Colombo. Or he risks that if I make a strike and an easy victory or whatever victory, then he losing the potential risk that he lose all his aircraft on the ground is simply too high. He must move the aircraft to Madras, and then it's too far away to help his battle for Ceylon. Good. Anything else? Tokyo is now already at double supplies. So now no issue more. So I would say, I think next turn the mark will disappear and then everything is fine. More equipment is on the way to Nomaya. I still have here no fuel and I'm low on supplies because I'm less than 20,000, but everything is on the way. And my carriers are already on the way again. So repair all damage, refill all, and now I'm on the way to make a next visit to Tahiti area. Maybe we can find something. Maybe I can find this like cruiser formation and sink them. That would be a success. Because so far I was not really able to sink a lot of equipment, military equipment in the Pacific. Anything else? Not really. Good. Point wise, but you saw it maybe 5.3 or 5.4 against 22. So over 4.1 at least. Then see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.